Hi everyone, and welcome to today's stories where we find out if a boyfriend is the butthole for refusing to buy female products for his girlfriend. Please like and subscribe. Story 1 by normal_young_7698. My BF refuses to buy me female products, pads, and now I'm upset. I'll make it short and sweet. Me F, 25, and my BF, 28, been dating for over 3 years. Yesterday, we had a conversation through text about him going to the supermarket to get pasta because we were having people over and I was going to cook. Mind you, he gets out of work before me and the supermarket is 3 minutes away from home. Everything was fine until I got my period right after I was about to leave my job and go home. So I texted him to please grab some pads for me, and his answer was, "I'm not doing that." Then I said, "I'm going home. They're on the personal hygiene aisle. I need them." His answer was, "So go get them?" And I replied, "Aren't you going to the store?" He said, "Yeah." So I replied, "I'm telling you to please get it for me." And his answer was, "I said I'm not doing that, but you keep asking." And I ended the conversation by saying, "Okay, thanks." Then he said that we shouldn't have people over tonight, which made me more upset. I ended up getting them myself, while having pain and a bunch of toilet paper wrapped around my panties to not make a mess. I always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If he feels uncomfortable, he could have said, "I'm sorry, but that makes me uncomfortable, so I won't be able to do so," and I could see it with a different perspective. However, he is 28, and I think it's a very immature thing to be embarrassed about. And before you asked, this was my second time asking him. The first time he got it for me, no problem, but we were living at his mom's house, which she used to do everything for him, so at this point I think she was the one who got it. Please help with an advice. Edit. Huge thank you to all for the feedback. I would like to add an anecdote. 2 years and a half, he had a horrible accident while skiing, fractured his right leg, and dislocated his left shoulder, so he couldn't move at all or shower, and even pee or poop. Guess who helped him with all that? Me. I would expect him to do the same for me, but not being able to do this little thing for me might honestly be a deal breaker. Call me dramatic, I don't care. We have a reply from Konskak and says, "I've been married for quite a while and together for longer. My wife and I have kids. Even before all of this, when we were teens, if she had asked me to do this, I would have. I love her. If she needs something, I need it. I cannot fathom being at the store and telling her I won't get her something I'm fully capable of buying. Even if he's embarrassed, he could do self-checkout. This person does not put your needs on level par with his. There is no happiness long-term if that is the starting ground. What happens when you have kids? Will he not help? Will he expect you to do everything for the kids and the housework, cooking, cleaning, and have a job? This isn't a small red flag. This tells you how he sees you and what his character has been cemented as for 28 years. Run or be satisfied with mediocrity from life, at best. One more reply, but seems too drastic, but worked, is from Charming Chongling. Yep, my ex kept hiding my tampons in the small drawer I had been allocated in his room, so he didn't have to see them. Fine while not in use, but a pain if I was actively on my period and they weren't where I left them. One day, I stormed into his bedroom without my pants on and told him to quit fucking moving them. Find me a place in the bathroom to store them, or so help me, I will make sure it tracks down the hallway the next time I have to get one. I've never seen a man's face go that pale. He found me a spot in the bathroom drawers that day, but it was just the tip of the iceberg, and it made me realize he would always want me to be ashamed of normal bodily functions. I started to think what would have happened if we had kids and I tore during the birth. He'd probably hide those pads too. Story 2 by Funny Persimmon 2735. Am I the butthole for calling the cops on my dad's wife after she slapped my brother? My dad cheated on my mom with his wife and broke up our family when my brother, 17, was 8 and I, 15, was 6. They got married 2 days after the divorce was finished, and my parents fought over custody. We always knew about the cheating and what that woman was and what our dad was. We never had a good relationship with them or the kids they had together. When we were 12, we each got permission to see Dad only every other weekend instead of every other week like we had. We still have to go to his house every other weekend, even though my brother's 17 now. It's dumb, but whatever. We were at Dad's house last weekend when my dad's wife found out he was cheating on her and he got the other woman pregnant. It was crazy. She was crying and Dad went to hide in the garage most of the weekend we were there. She was trying to get us to feel bad for her, but we didn't and we stayed out of her way. When my brother got home from work, she tried talking to him and he told her to fuck off. She was talking about being through enough and how she'd been good to us and we could at least be nice to her. She got extra annoyed when her kids heard them fighting about her and Dad having the affair to start with. Then my brother said she was always just a whore in our eyes and a whore who destroyed our family. She slapped my brother after he said that. I saw it, and so did the other kids. I called the cops and told them she'd hit my brother. My dad had to come out of the garage because of it and we got to go home. My brother said he was pressing charges for it. Dad was angry because he got a lot of shit from his wife's family. The kids were with her family for a few days and she's there too. She showed up and yelled at my mom for what my brother and I did, but she focused a lot on me and how I called the cops and risked her kids getting taken away. My mom called the cops on her for showing up after she slapped my brother. It's a whole messy thing. Am I the butthole for calling the cops? It looks like she could lose her kids if she keeps coming to our house. A lot of commenters agree that OP isn't the butt. Top comment by Throwaway 3857 says, not the butt. You rock for defending your brother. She had no right to put hands on your brother, especially not for telling the truth. Besides, what did she think? That she was the only WHOR he had? Once a cheater, always a cheater. Story 3. By do_jackfruit_8816. Am I the butt for blowing up at my sister after she lied to our parents that I'm pregnant for a one-night stand? I don't even know where to start. I'm still shaking from how angry I am. This happened a couple days ago, and I can't get it out of my head. I, 26F, have always had a complicated relationship with my sister, 23F. We're not exactly best friends, but I never thought she'd do something like this. So out of nowhere, I start getting these weird texts from my aunts and cousins. Stuff like, we're here for you, and everything happens for a reason. Just be strong. I'm like, what? I ignored it at first, but then my mom calls me and straight up asks, Sweetie, why didn't you tell us you were pregnant? I actually laughed at first BC. I thought she was joking. But nope, she was serious. I told her I have no clue what she's talking about. And she goes, your sister told us everything. You don't have to be ashamed. We just want to support you. At this point, I feel like I'm in some alternate reality. I told her I'm not pregnant. I never had a one-night stand. And I have a boyfriend who I've been 100% loyal to. My mom got really quiet and just said, oh, like she didn't even know what to believe. So I called my sister right away. She didn't answer. I called again and again. Finally, she picks up and acts all casual like nothing happened. I ask her what the hell she told mom and dad, and she has the audacity to say, I was just worried about you. Worried about me? Worried about what? This made absolute no sense to me. After I kept pushing, she finally admitted that she told them I had a drunken one-night stand and got pregnant as a joke, but was too scared and ashamed to tell anyone the truth after that. She even told them she suspected it for weeks and was just trying to prepare them for when I finally came clean. I lost my mind. I asked her why the hell she would even make something like that up, and she goes, I thought you'd be grateful that I was trying to get mom and dad to be supportive. Are you serious? I screamed at her. I called her a liar, a manipulative bee, and told her she's disgusting for spreading rumors about me that could literally ruin my relationship. My boyfriend is amazing and trusts me, but what if he had heard this from someone else first? What if this got out of my job? The sheer humiliation of having my entire family think this about me makes me sick. She started crying and saying I was being mean to her and overreacting. Then she tried to turn it around on me, saying, if it's not true, then why are you so mad? Like? I told her she's dead to me and hung up. Now she's playing the victim and telling everyone I verbally attacked her and made her feel like garbage. My parents finally believe me now and also had a big argument with my sister about spreading those lies around. Am I the butt for refusing to let this go? Comment by UnrelevantBaker55U. Says, is it possible that she might like your boyfriend? Maybe she was hoping he'd end up hearing. I mean, a lot of people like to play the person whose shoulder you cry on as a way to get close to people as they are in a vulnerable state and easier to sway and manipulate. Last story by UnrelevantBaker55U. Am I the butt? For telling the truth about why I ended my engagement to my ex's parents and grandparents. I, 26F, was engaged for more than a year, but called it off in October. My family and friends knew, but not a lot in my ex's family and friends knew. His parents had grown frustrated by the chaos in their family that to them seemed to follow the end of our engagement, and they and my ex's grandparents approached me to ask why I'd called everything off. This is so messy, and I feel dumb for not worrying about it, but I'll explain what happened and what I told them. So my ex's brother and his wife were trying to have a baby for a while and failed. Not long after ex and I got engaged, his brother and sister-in-law asked if my ex would donate sperm. They wanted to turkey baster it and act like his brother was the bio father, but they'd be honest with the kid. My ex and I talked about it, and I was fine with it. I helped him get the samples, and his brother would come and collect them and take them to his wife. It took quite a few, but it worked. Only when she got pregnant, finally, she started acting weird toward me. She was jealous. Like clearly jealous. She made snarky comments toward me and glared at me when I'd see her. This was going on for a few weeks. When ex and I were shown the skin photos, she looked pissed that he was hugging me while we looked. Then she came to the house when I was alone, and she accused me of coming between the brothers and wanting her child to grow up an only child. Like this was seriously out of nowhere. It made me feel off about things, and I asked her why she was acting like a jealous girlfriend or mistress. She lost her shit and told me I needed to back off. I confronted my ex, and he played dumb. He said he had no idea why she was behaving that way. But I didn't buy it, and then his brother asked me if I thought his wife was being weird with my ex. I said yep. We both confronted them, and she asked why it mattered how she'd gotten pregnant as long as they got the result they wanted. Ex's brother almost attacked my ex was saying it wasn't like that, and the turkey baster method wasn't working, and it was all about his brother, and how nothing else happened but in and out. He really thought we'd buy that. I walked away from him that night, and I gave back my ring. Ex tried to fight for me to forgive him, but I just felt foolish for agreeing to begin with. I don't know what's going on with the brother and her. I didn't stay in touch, but I told ex's parents and grandparents that ex slept with his brother's wife and that it got messy because of the baby. They thanked me for my honesty and apologized for asking me. And then a few days later, my ex DM'd me on Instagram and asked why I had to mess with his family like that, and he said I fucked his brother over more than he already had. I blocked him. It was a second account I forgot about. But I feel bad if I highlighted what his brother's dealing with before he was ready to tell anyone. Am I the butt? Please like and follow. See you at the next story.